Hi there, welcome back. Peter and Grada here from the Purple House Wellness Center in Tasmania with our next episode. Today we're going to help you understand your microbiome. If your microbiome isn't functioning well, if it's taken a beating, which it probably has from the Christmas holidays, you're going to feel as if you're living on borrowed energy, not so much borrowed time perhaps. But you know, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, and you can hardly drag yourself out of bed and function during the day. A lot of the time that's to do with the microbiome. And the microbiome was only discovered as a word, like as an organ or system, in the year 2000 or 2005. So not many people actually know that much about it. And I'll explain a little bit, and then Pete he's keen to say lots of stuff as well. We're just trying to keep it simple though. But the microbiome is an important organ, as important as your liver, your heart, or any other organ that you would never dream of just throwing away. But we actually throw our microbiome away by taking antibiotics, using hand sanitizers, being on the contraceptive pill,
cortisone,
many other drugs, also too much wine and all the rest. It's like Agent Orange for your gut bacteria. So if the microbiome lives in your gut, and if you iron out all the wrinkles in your small and large intestine, and then you get a surface area of a tennis court, and that tennis court is like your internal village. And the villages are your microbes, your good and bad microbes. We will always have some negative microbes, of course, but as long as your microbes or microbial little beings are mostly beneficial, you're going to feel good. But if they tip the scales into negative ones and you're eating too much toxic food and all the rest, you're going to feel terrible.
It's as important as any one of your vital organs. So we wouldn't deliberately kill off our lungs, our heart, our kidneys, our liver, but we tend to do that with our microbiome.
Well, we're pretty careless about it.
Yeah, we're careless. It's 80% of our immune system belongs to the microbiome. 90% of the happy hormones we produce, the serotonin we produce, are produced in a nice, healthy gut full of good gut bacteria. And the microbiome, in other words.
That's right. Not only that, there's now anecdotal evidence as well that your environment also helps to build or degrade your microbiome. So for instance, the people that you hang around with the most at work, like your colleagues, if you're working in the same room all day, and those people are not taking good care of themselves, they don't rest and recover, they eat rubbish, they disconnect from nature, their microbiome is literally also going to become like yours. And so it's important that you stay in your lane, like that's my favorite saying from last year. So like staying in your lane means, no, I just want to finish my thought, otherwise.
I was going to say people that live with a dog, with a pet, have a far better microbiome as well, because they take on the bacteria from their pets.
Exactly. So that goes the same with people at work. You can't always, of course, choose the people you hang out with. But in your private life, you need to be very discerning and stay in your lane. That's my favorite saying from last year, which helped me a lot. But if you think of your digestive system, you also could see it as a lane, and you don't allow people or things, nasties, to push into your lane, right? You have to keep it clean. And your digestive system and your microbiome is not a dumping ground for other people's negativity or toxicity to go into your body. This is, of course, if you are trying to be healthier and have a happier life, right? If you don't care, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I had a woman come to me, she was mid-40s. Yeah, mid-40s. She'd come to me and she'd had terrible digestive issues.
And diarrhea.
Diarrhea for a few years, and nothing could improve it. She had been to doctors and been everywhere to try and find something to help her, but nothing could improve it. And she was on oral contraceptive as well. She had had quite a few different courses of antibiotics to try and clear up this bad bowel.
Or they thought it was an infection or a virus.
Yeah, they thought it was a ulcerative colitis or something like that in the lower bowel. And it just kept on going, and she didn't have a life. She was depleted of energy. She was
she couldn't work.
She couldn't work. Her finances were down the creek, and it was.
Pete did a full health analysis.
Yeah, I did a full health analysis, and her blood showed that she had leaky gut, which is when Candida gets a stronghold and goes through the gut wall, and that has a lot of toxins associated with it. Plus, that gobbles up your fuel source if you're relying on sugars for energy, because that's what it lives on. Anyway, I also found out that her bile wasn't flowing properly, and if your bile doesn't flow properly from the liver, which is the waste out of the body, that is needed to neutralise the acid from the stomach. The contents of the stomach are extremely acidic. One of the most acidic places on earth is our stomach. And
that's meant to be healthy.
That's healthy, yeah. But the small bowel likes to be neutral pH, so it's neither alkaline or acid. And each time the stomach lets out a tiny little bit of food into the intestine, the gallbladder gives a nice big squeeze, and a gush of bile is meant to go down there and mix with the stomach contents. And the bile is quite alkaline, so it's like pouring vinegar on bicarb soda, if you've ever done that as a kid. And it creates quite an explosion. It completes the digestive process.
It explodes all the nutrients out.
And breaks the food down to its smallest possible part, so we get the nutrients out of our food. If that gush doesn't happen, the stomach contents remain too acid, and that kills off the good gut bacteria.
Yeah, that's like a bushfire.
And it causes peristalsis in the bowel. The bowel says, get this out of here as quick as you can before it burns the inside of the bowel. So that was causing her diarrhea as well. But 3 weeks, or was it 4 weeks? 4 weeks after she came to me, she got in touch with us and she said, I'm feeling heaps better. And what I started her on was something to get the bile flow going, which is beet flow, an enzyme to help break down every type of food, starting in the stomach. So I always recommend everyone have an enzyme with all meals, because it just helps the digestive process and you get the nutrients out of your food. But another main one was immune restore, immunosymbiotic, which is a probiotic to reseed the gut. And within 3 to 4 weeks, her 4 or 5 year history of diarrhea had eased up.
Crippling digestive system.
And
also, what's different about this, tell people, compared to normal ones that you get from the supermarket?
This one has a capsule that withstands the stomach acid, so it opens in the small intestine. But because if it opened in the stomach, all the good bacteria would be dead.
Your money gets burnt.
Because that's what we have the acid there for, to kill everything that goes into your stomach that should be dead by the time it reaches the small bowel. But we need to get live bacteria through into the intestines. So you need either spore probiotics or a capsule that withstands the stomach acid. Spore probiotics withstands stomach acid and antibiotics even.
And chemotherapy as well.
But get one with a capsule that'll withstand that stomach acid, so it'll open in the small intestine where it belongs. And she quickly recovered when her body started getting the nutrients that it needed. And
when the fire was extinguished.
And then the good intestinal bacteria, which is 80% of the immune system, that made her well again. Because it's only our immune system that will actually repair us and create health. There's no medication that'll do it. It's only our immune system that'll do that.
So antibiotics are good, don't get me wrong, like you and I. We are super grateful that we live in a time where antibiotics are available. They save many millions of lives. But here's the thing, they don't make us healthy, right? They can save us from dying, but they don't make us healthy. So then we have to step in ourselves and be adults and take care of ourselves and use good probiotic like we just explained to help your microbiome recover. Otherwise it may never recover fully, or it may take 5 years minimum usually.
You break down the word. Anti means against, and biotic is life.
Yeah.
Pro is for. Biotic is life.
Yeah. So hopefully that explains it a little bit. So if you're running out of energy, it could be to do with your microbiome, and then Peter just explained.
Or brain fog, everything, really.
But that was a different topic though. Like, we'll talk about that another time. So I'm trying to keep it nice and clean, all the topics separate this year, so it's not so overwhelming. So your microbiome lives in your tummy. If you stretch out your tummy and iron it out, it's the size of a tennis court. So it's a huge organ that's fully inhabited by good and bad bacteria. And if you're not feeling good, that often means you have gangsters in your tummy, the mafia is running the show, and you need to help your body by swinging it back into a positive state, right? And it doesn't take much. We also eat fermented food. Pete and I eat fermented vegetables every day. On top of that, we still have the immunosymbiotic, and it really calms our body down and our nervous system, because your microbiome, it is the control panel, the control room, the control tower of your body, and it signals to, like Pete already said, your hormones, your energy levels, your blood is also made in the tummy, your moods and everything are controlled by the microbiome. So it's also for children, of course, incredibly important that parents are aware of that, just to keep that healthy. And of course, since the 1950s, nearly everyone's microbiome is destroyed unless you do something about it. You have to be proactive, don't you, not reactive.
I had a little bloke brought to me by his parents, and the teachers were saying he had full-blown ADHD. He was up the walls in the classroom, and they were saying he needed to go on medication, and they didn't want him on medication. So I recommended he have a probiotic every day and start getting most of his energy from fats rather than sugars. And within 3 weeks, they had a perfect kid.
Yeah, that was amazing, wasn't it?
It was.
So actually, our bodies can return to like a really good state of harmony and calm and peace, and you feel resilient in yourself very quickly. Like every day, you're going to get better. You're going to feel better, and within a few weeks, you look back and you can't believe how far you've come. That's how great it is to work with your own body. It doesn't take like 20 years, even if it's taken 40 years to get you where you are. So that's just what we wanted to share today. And then in the article, it's got some really good pointers what you can do with yourself to rewild your tummy, to stay in your lane, to also take magnesium and iodine. We also sell the Beat Flow Omnizyme immunosymbiotic and the iodine as a package, and then when you buy it as a package, called the Ultimate Vitality Boost. It's $20 cheaper. So that's another really good way to stay healthy. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and hope that you're enjoying the summer.
Hope you're having a good start to 2026.
That you stay safe wherever you are.
If you build up your good microbiome, you'll have a good one.
Your body will pay you back in many ways. Also in your relationships, they start to become much easier as well. All right, if you have any questions, pop it in the comments below or send us an email. Looking forward to seeing you at the Purple House. Bye for now.